So when speaking on things that are quote-unquote classic, these are pieces of art, these are events, this is music, this is film. Whenever this thing hits, it changes your mind about what the genre was supposed to be. It hits you and it changes your perspective on the art form. And that's what Last of Us has done for survival horror video games. Like, we just thought it was supposed to be this and just that, but Last of Us came and it went like a... Here's my classic review of Last of Us. In 2013, Last of Us was given to us by the legendary company Naughty Dog, who has brought to you Crash Bandicoot and the now beloved Drake's Uncharted series. Among the abundance of art based upon the zombie experience, Last of Us is based upon a movie called The Road, starring Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith. The Road, just like The Last of Us, takes place in a post-apocalyptic America. Resources are low, weapons are low, food is low, people are dying and killing each other and eating each other. Chick-fil-A is gone, Shake Shack is gone, Walmart is gone, Starbucks is gone. Last of Us begins during the outbreak of a fungal virus that is turning people into cannibalistic infected creatures. So the story begins with the main character Joel and his daughter Susan. Life is good, she goes to sleep, wakes up, goes to his room to see where he is, he ain't there, but there's a crisis on the news, she gets a little worried, goes downstairs. Then she goes to the living room and her father darts through the glass sliding door from the backyard like he's being chased by a cable bill. Then Joel comes in short of breath. Susan like, what's wrong? He's like, man, look, you remember the Coopers from next door? I thought they was just smoking that mid or on that Molly, but they really sick. Then Susan gets all frantic and fighting. She's like, how sick? Then Jimmy Cooper bursts through the glass door and Joel was like, you ain't getting no human casserole over here. Then luckily Joel's brother Tommy pulls up in his truck. They jump in the truck to try to evacuate the town, and then we feel and we experience one of the saddest scenes in video game history. It punches you all in the drakes. Joel's daughter Susan is tragically shot and killed by a soldier in the game, and it immediately gave me that same feeling that I got while I was watching Ricky die on Boys in the Hood. Ricky. Years later, we see Joel and his new partner Tessa operating as smugglers, and this is a pretty lofty position considering that supplies are at a premium in this world. The people who are fortunate enough to count themselves among the survivors use weapons and other supplies as bargaining chips for trade. And standing guard to keep watch over this dystopia is the military, and they check your bags, they check your ID at every checkpoint, they ask you where you're going, why you're leaving, what you're doing, who was that. And on the opposite side of that spectrum, we have the Fireflies, who are another militia group who kind of serve as the revolutionaries, the Che Guevaras in this lost world. So a weapons cache is then stolen from Joel and Tessa and then sold to the Fireflies. They wind up meeting the leader of the Fireflies, Marlene, and Marlene is like, alright, bet. Y'all want y'all weapons. If y'all agree to take our homegirl Ellie to our contact, we'll give you them weapons back. And Joel and Tessa are reluctant at first, but they eventually agree. It's just a simple transport and drop off mission. But they soon find out that it ain't. A simple transport mission becomes a cross-country adventure and nightmare. And let me put it to you this way. Ellie ain't just simple run-of-the-mill teenager. She got them hands. She got them street small. Joel and Ellie's friendship is one for the books, and it's complex to say the least. She becomes somewhat of a daughter to him, he becomes a father figure to her, they get mad at each other, they're short with each other, they crack jokes together, they laugh at each other, and they literally go through hell together. And the level at which they suffer is only rivaled by Frodo and Sam of Lord of the Rings and the Starks of Game of Thrones, and we know in the nerd world, ain't nobody suffer more than them Starks. And as the player of this game, you feel that at a certain point you're like, okay, this world just can't get any worse. But it gets more hopeless and hopeless and hopeless. And for a good portion of the game, Joel and Ellie have this ongoing conversation about whether or not she should be allowed to use a gun. And it got me to thinking, if this wasn't a post-apocalyptic world and they were actually father and daughter, they probably wouldn't be talking about a gun. They would probably be talking about a car or a tattoo, which in and of itself is more depressing. And as you can imagine, the action in this game is brutal and terrifying, and it shows you just how far humanity can fall if we were forced to fight for everything at this level. So in this game, stealth will be your bread and butter, being as quiet and as ninja-like as possible while disposing of your enemies. And to assist you on this adventure, Joel and Ellie have listen mode, which allows you to track enemies from short and intermediate distances so that you can close in on them quietly. And when you're playing survival horror games like Resident Evil, like Bloodborne, like Last of Us, there are annoying, grotesque, and terrifying creatures. Those creatures in this game are the clickers. They make this horrible clicking noise when you approach them, and if they are near you and your aim isn't right, or you step on something and make too much noise, or you don't have anywhere to run, you're toast. The controls to this game are great. The graphics are great. So great, in fact, that you'll be walking around some of these environments and you'll just stare off into the distance like, yo, this game looks really good. I'm out here sweating. And the voice acting of these characters that you'll meet in The Last of Us is superb. It's like with their voices, with their tone, they capture that limbo of a human being having to do evil things to survive, but also trying to hold on to that little bit of humanity that they have left. So if you analyze it, zombies, infected human beings, or cannibals are a serious critique. As we know them in America, they are a serious critique on the greed and selfishness of mankind. Furthermore, what works like The Last of Us and The Walking Dead are truly saying is that if mankind was forced to fight for resources on that primal or apocalyptic of a level, we would literally and metaphorically eat each other in order to survive. Zombies in and of themselves are selfish, mindless creatures who will search and eat whatever they need to survive regardless of circumstance, regardless of human life. And the sad thing is, we as human beings exhibit this behavior on a daily basis. And in this case, you can substitute a zombie's want of human flesh for a human's want or desire or addiction to sex, alcohol, to the love of money. Anything that would cause a human being to be evil to his fellow man or fellow woman. So I'm giving The Last of Us a timeless. I bought it twice, once for PS3 and once for PS4, and I'm still trying to beat it again. 10 out of 10. I suggest if you don't have a PS4, you get one and you play Last of Us. If you have a PS4 and you don't have The Last of Us, I suggest you buy it, experience it, like it, and love it. So what do you think about The Last of Us? Is it timeless or is it overhyped? Don't forget to subscribe to the Mason Dixon Entertainment YouTube page. Don't forget to like the Mason Dixon Entertainment Facebook page. And don't forget to like the Good News Baltimore Facebook page as well. We got more movie reviews coming your way. We got more book reviews coming your way. And we got more random stuff coming your way. I'm in the bathroom.